Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chelsea. If you're new here, if you're not new, welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. If you are new, hi, how are ya? Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, across all social media. I am at CCsuarez. If you'd like to watch any of my other commentary content, go ahead and click right up there. Also, merch, my Like to Know It page, my Reddit page, everything is linked down below. So let's go ahead and get into today's video because I am not messing around with an intro today. I am ready to do the damn thing. So last night I snuck into quite a team call for Monat. I'd say grab a drink, but I think you're actually gonna need 2 drinks for this one. So I have my raspberry tea and a Gatorade on standby, and then also grab a snack too. Because the video that we're reacting to is like almost an hour long, so this video is probably gonna be like an hour and a half long. This is some of the most brainwashy, ridiculous stuff I've ever seen. So y'all know I do like reacting to the opportunity calls, right, for Monat. I like being able to debunk everything that they are showing you, their pitch, if you will. But then also I think it's really important to expose, call out, react to, debunk the team calls. What happens behind the scenes. Pull back the curtain, if you will, to reveal there was no wizard. It's just a weird old guy with a mustache. I had to take off my necklace. I felt like I was like being choked. And listen, 1 p.m. on a Thursday, it's not the time I want to be choked. And I didn't have on any pants, so I put on some joggers so I can be comfortable. I don't need to tell you what happens off screen. Did I already tell you I got popcorn chicken? All right, I got my notebook down here, got my pen, got my popcorn chicken, my snacks. Let's go. Okay, so during this call, a few different people talk, and one thing that I thought was a little bit weird was that Sarah Hill, who is the person, who's led this call, really, she's one of the top people in Monat, and she's a public figure at this point. I'm allowed to say her name. The people she had talk were people who are at like the AMB, or like basically within like the first 6 ranks of Monat, or like the first 4 to 6. Which I thought was very interesting. And at the beginning of this call, I had a little bit of trouble with my recording thing. I was like, I was just confused. I was very confused. It was late. It's fucking 9 p.m. I'm like, why? Like, what are y'all doing? It's late. What happened to time freedom? Like, let me get cozy.
And feel it from someone if they never say it to your face. Yeah, right. You're never going to get the Cadillac, or you're never going to be SED. You can choose to either let that disqualify you and say, okay, yeah, I can't. I'm never going to be SED because of this, because XYZ, or I'm never going to get that Cadillac, okay? Or you can turn that into a passion, okay, that says, actually, yes, I can, and that will be me. That's what I've done, and I don't really care if people say or think that I'm not going to be it, because I know I'm going to be there someday. Okay, we're all in different spots in this journey. Are you going for MMB? Are you going for MM? Are you going for SED? Drop it in the comments. I want to see it. I want to see what you're going for. Lots of MMB. Go, go, go. Good job. Okay. I want you to say something to yourself right now, okay? You're going to say what you just put in that chat. You're going to say, that will be me. Okay, because I'm AMB right now. It's hard for me to see down the line when I'm going to get my white Cadillac, but I promise you that will be me, because I believe it. And creating a vision for yourself in your life is so important, but you have to believe it first. You have to believe you're going to be MM. You have to believe you're going to be SED. If Sarah Hill thinks I'm going to be MMB, but I don't believe it, that's not going to get me anywhere. You have to believe it, okay? The second thing I want to tell you is this kind of sticks with me almost every day. I feel like I think about what he said. Going back to what Ed asked him, okay, so what sets you apart? Why are you in the Hall of Fame and someone else is not?
Okay, so before she gets into this really stupid analogy about like professional athletes being in the Hall of Fame. So she said, basically, don't listen to the doubters, right? Don't listen to someone who's like, you're not going to do that. Like, this is not going to work, blah, blah, blah. There's a difference between haters and then people who are right. Okay, not all feedback is just people being haters. Sometimes your haters are right, okay? Don't let those people who are being dicks and trying to discourage you and keep you down, don't let them, hurt your motivation. If you want to do something, fucking do it. But you also need to be aware of the facts, the statistics, the failure rates, and be aware of brainwashing.
He said he gave it everything he had. He didn't give what he had left. He wasn't out partying and drinking the night before a game and then showing up game day to give what he had left, right? He gave it everything he had. He was going to be the hardest worker in the room. He was going to be faster than everyone else. He decided he could be in the Hall of Fame, and guess what? He made it happen. You have to decide you can be in the Hall of Fame. You have to decide you're going to get that white Cadillac. You're going to be SED. Because looking at you guys right now, I believe that for you, but do you? You have to believe that. The last quote I'm going to share.
There's a better chance, statistically, that someone who, let's say, plays in the NFL is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame than someone who joins an MLM. Or rather, someone who joins Monat is going to hit the middle rank to get that Cadillac, or the top rank, SED. And you want to know why someone got into the Hall of Fame? It's because they were more talented, because they worked harder, because they were a better leader.
Worked for me. I don't know, Sarah hates the word stuff, but if that is the way you're feeling, or, these tips and tricks have kind of helped me to get VIPs and just to kind of propel my business. So first of all, I want to talk about providing content. So I always try when I'm posting on social or whatever to ask myself before I post it, am I providing some type of value? Regardless of what I'm posting about, I try to post like with intention. Not just to be posting to posting. I want to be providing something to someone. So I try to always focus on those 5 pillars. And I know that there's a lot of new people here, but Sarah always talks about the 5 pillars. So if you haven't done any of like her brand builder training, it's amazing. You kind of get to pick your 5 pillars, figure out what's near and dear to your heart, and then go from that. So I try to post about like workouts. I love fashion, recipes. I'm fortunate enough to live on the lake, so I love to share about the lake life, and then obviously Monat. But regardless of what I'm sharing, I always try to do so with intention and providing value to people. So keep in mind too that like on your page, you want to make sure that you're not always talking about Monat. Like, don't get me wrong, we all love it, but you want your followers to come to your page and not always expect just to hear about Monat. You want to provide other value. And that's the way that you're going to keep getting them to engage with you and coming back to your stories and watching what you have to say every day. So when I do post about Monat, like I said, I always try to bring value to the consumer. So an example of that would be if I was doing an oil treatment. You want to make sure that you're not just saying like, I love oil treatments. Like, we all love oil treatments, but the person on the other side who hasn't tried the product is just kind of like, girl, but why do you love these oil treatments? So you just need to make sure that, yes, you're doing an oil treatment, and you totally can say that you love it, but you need to say why you love it. Why are you doing it? What has it done for your hair? What will it do for their hair? Talk about, how the oil's different, how it absorbs into the cortex of the hair, how it will cut down on frizz, provide your scalp health, all the things. So just
all the things. All the things. Just all of them. But like, what things, Emily? What things? All of them. She said all of them. That means everything.
Make sure that you, kind of have like an intention with posting about things, and that you are educating your audience. That is what is going to get them to purchase your product. When they know what the product does and why they need it, that is going to basically help that like organic flow of your business. Second, I've got post and pray. We all have done it or did it or whatever. So post and pray is just posting content and praying that someone is going to reach out to you. And as much as I would love it to work, it just doesn't, or it doesn't for me anyway. So you need to make sure that you are engaging with people, that you're having conversations, that you're being social. You guys, it's social selling. So you have to be reaching out to people, to be, having those conversations, to start that organic kind of friendship, things like that. Invite. So regardless of whether it's a virtual event, if it's an in-person event, if you're inviting to, I have an in-person event, and you guys, I'm new to my community. So we moved 2 hours north. I used to be close to Indy. We moved 2 hours north last fall. I don't know anybody here, but I'm still doing in-person events. It's scary, and I don't really know a lot of people, but the people that I do know, I send them a message. Or people that I find that are local, like I follow local hashtags, and I will message people and be like, hey, I'm doing an event in town this week, and I'd love for you to stop in. These are the products I have, blah, 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 blah. Just stop in and chat with me. So you need to be reaching out and making sure that you are building those relationships. Also involve your followers in what you're doing. So make sure that you are sharing about more than just the products. Like you're sharing this Zoom call right now, that you are sharing the community that, you've built with other market partners. You're sharing the gratitude program. You're sharing all the things, not just about the products, but about the company as well. If you, share about all aspects, then you end up like building a trust with your followers. And that is what is going to obviously keep them.
Sarah Hill's not going to be happy about this, but about 10 people on this team shared this call with me. So, yikes.
And coming back, but also purchase your product. Different clientele. Make sure that you don't find yourself stuck just posting about, so like I have blonde hair and it's straight, but I need to make sure that I'm also talking about our products for curly girls or for people with frizz or for, maybe women who might be suffering from postpartum or whatever. Just make sure that you, are kind of like branching out and not just talking about the items that you use personally.
Don't they always say though that you can't talk about products if you don't use them? So how are you going to talk about products if you don't use them?
And then just circle back around, just make sure that you're not just focusing on the pretty content, and that you are sharing about, the heart of the company, what we have to offer, why the products are different, things like that. And then I just have a few more notes. We can't always be high tech. We have to be high touch as well. So again, that goes back to, the in-person events, things like that. You guys, be yourself. People are going to love you for you, and you all have something to offer. So don't, discourage yourself or discount yourself. We all are different and unique, and that is why people choose to follow you over me, over Sarah, over whatever. So thank you, Sarah, for pushing us all to do this. I know it was way out of our comfort zones, but
I could not stop coughing. Maybe I'm allergic to this bullshit.
Oh my God. Hi guys, my name is Kim Parkins. I am also an A and B. I have been with Monat for a couple of years. I really started actively with the business during COVID. I was at home and just wanted to share the products. So I'm also a mom, a wife, a NICU nurse, and I do Monat on the side. Hopefully one day I can drop my nursing career. That's my goal, and do Monat full time. Anyway, I wanted to tell you guys just one thing in this business that has really helped me so much, and that is connecting with the Monat community and sidelines. My sideline sisters are my lifeline in this business. When I first started, being in Sarah's downline, she has so many of us, and we can't rely on our upline for our success. They can't be our end all be all.
Yeah, you're right. You're not relying on your upline to be successful. You're relying on your downline. Everything I hear, it just seems like none of them know what the hell they're doing at any time.
Find our own community and our own people. And, our upline just gives us the tools for success. And one of the best tools that has helped me so much is Sarah has started the WhatsApp chat. And through that, I have, I've connected with so many amazing women outside of the big chats, just connecting with other girls. And let me tell you, they are the ones who get me through. It's really easy for us, to be overwhelmed and, everything when you're first starting, there's so much information. And, I'm in California, Sarah's in Indiana, and, we're kind of all over the place. And I don't really know anyone local to me. So I felt really alone and in the beginning. So connecting with my sideline sisters for me made such a huge difference. We started doing weekly Zoom calls. A group of us did where we would, we would talk about our struggles. We shared content ideas. We shared content with each other. We did a super fun reel together. But most of all, one of the other things we did, getting ahead of myself, we did education. We did education calls, I don't know, for like 2 months, once a week. And we literally went through every product line, the ingredients, how to use them. There are so many amazing.
Why isn't that normal? Why don't you do that already? Like, also, why do you have so many struggles in your sales job? My lips were like crooked. We can't have that. Listen, I've definitely been places where, like with employers, where I need to have, a side chat, whether it's, GChat, Jabber, Teams, Slack, whatever. I swear, I hear the Teams chat, like, ding notification thing in my nightmares. So happy I don't have to listen to that anymore. But I've definitely had those like side ones with, friends or coworkers I'm close with. We talk about random stuff, or we check in and we get annoyed and we complain to each other. But this feels different, And I love how someone in this chat said, oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, no shit. Knowing about the products you're selling, yeah, that's a great idea.
Amazing products. And to be able to break it down with a smaller group of people was super helpful. So I highly suggest doing that if you haven't done that already. We just had one of us led the call, kind of went through what it said on the site, and then we talked about it. And then we talked about our personal experiences with the product. So that was super, super helpful. But I will tell you, the biggest thing that I get from my sideline sisters is just the support. I was so nervous before getting on this call. I actually did a little video call with a couple of my sideline sisters to they kind of were just talking me off the ledge. They're like, you're gonna do awesome. And I'm like, I'm so nervous and my armpits are sweating. But that's what we have to all be there for each other, to support each other and lift each other up. And you really need that community. I feel like all the women and men too that I've met in this business, everyone is so, so supportive. This community is amazing. I feel like even my own personal growth, just getting involved in this community has been incredible. I look back at things I was posting and videos I did a year ago and I kind of chuckle. But really connecting with other people makes such a difference.
Listen, I know she's nervous and she's whatever, so I feel kind of bad for her, but also I'm blacking out right now. This is the most boring shit I've ever listened to. You gotta be engaging. What's the point of having, Sarah Hill, what are you doing? What's the point of having these girls who clearly aren't doing very good with Monat, having them preach all this brainwashy bullshit? Is it to have the other people below them be even more brainwashed?
I'm an extrovert. I love people. I have tons of friends, huge family.
That sounds so sad. I'm an extrovert. Tons of friends, I swear. I swear I have tons of friends, guys. I'm so happy.
So I didn't really think I needed more friends or another community, my life is super full. But honestly, I know it sounds so cliche, but this community is what I didn't know I needed. I needed all of these friends, this everything. I mean, this company is so amazing, and I feel like everyone that gets involved and sticks with it, there is, I mean, the heart of the people in it, everyone is so.
Girl, it doesn't sound cliche. It sounds culty. You have to stick with it. It's what you didn't know you needed. This community, blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, kindly hush.
So supportive. So I just really encourage all of you guys to get involved in the community and with your sidelines. They're going to be the ones who are there to pick you up, you know, when you're feeling, you know, like, oh, you're down on yourself and you're not hitting your ranks, or you're not, you know, meeting the goals you set for yourself.
When you want to quit because, you know, you're having that come to Jesus moment when you're in a cult and you like realize you're in a cult, they're going to be the ones that keep you in. You're never leaving.
At the beginning of the month, we all go through tough times, but just really, you know, get involved, get a group of people, surround yourself with them, and stay in contact to really push each other and lift each other up. I feel like it's so important. You know, the last thing I have to say is, you know, it's really easy to give up when things are hard. It's easy to say you're not good enough, to play the comparison game. And in those moments, those are the moments that you need to reach out to your sidelines and get that support, have them reel you back in, and, you know, just remind you how amazing you are. So thank you guys so much. And I hope that I gave you some helpful information.
Have them reel you back in. Not only do I have the hiccups right now, but I cannot stop burping and I am a disgusting gremlin. But that is so cringy. And then also someone commented saying, community is everything. Oh my God. Replace the word community with cult. That's what it means. It's cult.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's so bright there. It's like so dark over here. You're in California, aren't you?
West Coast.
Yeah, of course. Must be nice. Okay, guys, next up is Shayna. You guys see her on social media a lot. She has the most gorgeous hair in the entire world. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear from her. So Shayna, making you spotlight, and you can go ahead and start.
Hi, guys. All right. I'm really nervous like everybody else.
The most gorgeous hair in the entire world. What?
We're all busy. I get it. We're all busy, but if we find something that we love and we want to go after, you've got to stick with it. So a little bit about me. I've been doing money for about a year and a half. I started right before the pandemic hit, right January, February 2020. And I started for the finance, for, you know, the extra income. And I didn't realize that I was joining the community. I say midsummer, I hit this really dark place. And because of this business, I was able to come out of that on top. It was crazy that I didn't realize that the community was the way it was. But anyway, I want to talk about some things that I do that work for me that help me stay consistent. So my schedule is kind of crazy. I get up at 3:30 Monday through Friday and go to my full-time job. I'm there from 5:30 to 2, and my husband and I, we just high five out the door. So I don't see my husband during the week.
That sounds super brainwashy. So she said that she joined at like the beginning of the pandemic. So you joined, let's say, last February, and which really the beginning of the pandemic would have been like January or December, but just for giggles, let's say February. And then she said at the beginning of summer, so you had joined Monat and then you got really depressed like 2 or 3 months later. How do you not see the correlation, girl?
My schedule is kind of crazy. I get up at 3:30 Monday through Friday and go to my full-time job. I'm there from 5:30 to 2, and my husband and I, we just high five out the door. So I don't see my husband during the week. I'm pretty much a single parent. Both of us are during the week. It's just me and my 3 children at 5, 2, and 6 months old. And I have found ways to fit this business in that work.
Okay, wait. So if one of her kids is 6 months old and this video was last night, then that means that her kid was born at the beginning of the year. Okay, yeah. So her kid was born in what, February? So then, okay, hold on. So not only did someone target her to recruit her at the beginning of a goddamn pandemic, but then also when she was first pregnant. Oh, then I understand. I mean, that's scary. Getting pregnant during a pandemic, she maybe lost her job. That's scary as fuck. I get that. But then how about don't join a pyramid scheme? Oh my God.
Work for me and my schedule. And I want to go over those tangibles for you at the end, but I also want to talk a little bit about mindset. For me, when I was starting out, I was always in the mindset of, I really should be at this rank, or I should be further along. If she can do this, I can do this. And the truth is, I can do this. But my journey is my journey, and we all go at a different pace, literally. I have found that self-development and podcasts and books have been something that I didn't know I needed. And it has been so powerful for my mindset, not only in this business, but in my life. It has been very empowering for me. I'm not a reader. I'm not one to pick up a book and sit down and read. That's just not me. But as I've taken on this business and become more serious about my goals and what I want out of it, self-development has been my number one takeaway. So I urge you all to pick up a book.
You know, you can do that without being in MLM. You can do all that without being in a commercial cult. You don't have to join an MLM to do self-development or self-care or anything like that. What are they doing? Ugh.
For me, if you are on the go, if you have little ones, I just stick my headphones in. I stick one AirPod in so I can hear my kids and still be present. And I put a training on, a podcast, an Audible, whatever it is that you're listening to. Talk with a sideline. I can easily do that while I'm outside playing with my children or cooking dinner. So it allows me to still be present. And the AirPod has been a game changer.
So when I was listening to this last night, at this point was when Tony, because I had the door open to my office and the lights off, a glass of wine. I was just sitting here listening and watching it. It was atrocious. But he walked by and was like, I'm going to need you to turn that down. This is crazy. And I was like, yeah, listen to this brainwashing shit. So you might hear me say that, or me as Wiggum say, Dad, it's a cult.
For me, worth the investment, every penny. But this mindset of where I should be there, she's there, why not I started to switch my focus.
Sarah Hill did not just, first of all, she's yawning. Second of all, she just put in their chat, AirPod game changer, worth the investment. I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, I love my AirPods. Love them. Me and Tony use them all the time. I don't know, that just seemed like a weird thing to say.
In the process. So I've learned that consistency is key. I know we all preach it. We all hear it in the training. Consistency has been so important for me in my journey. I hit A&B for the first time last month. I hit Vegas after I joined. I hit Vegas. I just went, and it's my consistency. Yes, I'm only at A&B when I've been doing this business for 1.5 years, but this is my journey. And honestly, I don't know if I could take on an SCD role right now with my life. I mean, I have little babies, and it's just really crazy. I don't really have any help here other than my neighbors with my kids. The baby wouldn't go to sleep tonight. He's actually downstairs. My husband had shoulder surgery last night. So it's just kind of crazy. I just do what I got to do because I know.
Girl, it sounds like what you gotta do is log off this bullshit call. You've been doing this for 1 year. You're only at the 4th, 5th rank, whatever, 1.5 years. And your husband, who just had shoulder surgery, who cannot physically pick up your children for what, I'm guessing another 6 to 8 weeks, is downstairs with your kids. Recovering from go take care of ma'am. And take care of yourself. Like, what are you doing? Oh my God. And that's not me mommy shaming. Good God. That's me saying get the fuck out of a cult when your family needs you. I would say the exact same thing if the roles were reversed and she was downstairs with recovering from shoulder surgery and he was on a cult call.
What the end outcome, what the goal is that I'm going after. So I stay consistent and I keep my eye on the prize. So consistency has been huge. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here because I tend to black out when I do these. You can do it. Don't ever think that you can't. My thing has always been if I see somebody else do it, that only tells me that I can do it too. Literally. That's what keeps.
Sorry to be a party pooper, but no. Are you getting in at the right time? Are you an actual salesperson? Are you a good public speaker or someone who can come on Instagram, social media, whatever, and present themselves in a certain way? Are you generally attractive? Not saying any of these people aren't, but it's easier to sell something and sell a lifestyle when you're able to do that. It's also a lot easier to sell that MLM lifestyle when you're starting out with like a little bit of money already. Are you good at social media? A lot of people aren't, and they're trying to do these. It's so bad. So bad. Do you have a good personality? Are you terrified of rejection? Are you not okay with putting yourself out there and talking to people? So no. Just because someone else can do something does not mean that you can do it.
That's what keeps me going. When I see other people in this business being successful, I tell myself, they can do it, I can do it. I know I can. I know my work ethic. I know what it takes. No excuses. No excuses. I cannot handle excuses. So keep pushing through no matter your circumstances. Just don't quit. I've had family tell me who don't live locally. I mean, this is like my sisters. Like, I think you're investing too much into this business, too much time. If maybe my children are up later than what their kids are up, but our schedule is different. And so I don't want you to ever let somebody who isn't going after the same goals as you to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing or to make you feel guilty for doing that. There are the sacrifices that we got to put in now, the little sacrifices. And that's something so little as putting my children in front of the TV longer than I normally would just to, have some time for me to put time into this business for myself. At the end of the day, it is my long-term goal. So, those are.
How much of a strain is that putting on your relationship though? Like, I've been on the opposite, the whole opposite shift type of thing. Like, I would get home, Tony would be leaving. I thought it was cute how she said we high five at the door. 6 years, 7 years? Jesus, we did it for a long time because he worked nights. Now he doesn't. But yeah, we did that. It was rough. It was real rough when you're spending not only, like her sister said, not only too much time, but too much money on this. And you have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? And the answer, 92% of the time with Monat, it's not. Because an average of those people, most people are making $0 in Monat or losing money. You're not only losing money and time, friends, family members, you're losing a piece of yourself too. And I've dealt with unsupportive family members, so I get it. But there's a complete difference between, oh, well, you're just not being supportive. Like, it's going to push me even harder. And like, this is my dream. I just have to never stop until I make it happen. And it's like, there's a point where you need to take a look back and say, okay, is this actually doable anymore? Is this something I can actually make happen? No. The answer is with MLMs is usually no. So like, how much time, how many months did you waste and spend on that? Too many. Any months is too many.
Never understand it unless they're doing this business with me. So don't let anybody dull your sparkle. Keep going and don't quit. All right. Let's see. I think I've hit that. All right. Some tangibles for what works for me and keeping consistent. And this might not work for everybody's job, but working full time and having children and not having my husband's help. My husband had shoulder surgery yesterday. He can't carry the kids for maybe 12 weeks. So life is about to get crazy, and I'm gonna probably have to make some adjustments to these. So, but what has worked so far is I wear, like I said earlier, I wear AirPods. I put an AirPod in at my full-time job, and I usually wear it on the side that nobody, and I have big hair, so nobody can ever really see that I have it in. And I listen to trainings, those 1 o'clock trainings that Sarah would have, or listen to a book in the mornings, or, you know what I mean? I always have something in my ear that I'm listening to take advantage of my time. If you work a full-time job and you're able to work this business, use that job to help you get to your goals with this business.
That's a great way to get fired from your job. Most employers, most workplaces have it in their employee handbook that you cannot solicit, one, and you cannot work another job or a side hustle or whatever when you are at that job. Now, okay, sure, like listening to a training or whatever, like how are they going to know what you're listening to? There were so many times where I would listen to a podcast. Like a lot of people do that. If you're working at a desk, a lot of people will do that. Especially with AirPods, it's a lot easier now. Like she said, you just have it in right here. I've done that many, many times. So, okay, what's the difference between listening to, a podcast or a training or something like that? But that's sketchy if you're in a Zoom call for another business. Like that is weird. That is weird. There's a difference between that and me listening to Cody Ko and Noel Miller, the Tiny Meat Gang, in an ear. Talking about boxing and racing and crypto and Jeff Bezos's wiener. Like, it's different.
This is like what I take full advantage of. Okay, so AirPods are huge, worth the investment, 1,000%. I have it in when I'm making dinner, playing outside. I plug a book in my ear. It's been a huge piece to when people tell me you do this business and motherhood with so much grace. It's not pretty.
But at the bottom, someone said, do you think my students will notice? Talking about having it in an AirPod. Y'all better hope your employers don't find out. Y'all gonna get fired.
We're here majority of the time, but we make it work. My daughter thinks I say no all the time, but she gets all the TV time some days, and it's just what works for me and what works for us.
So letting the TV raise your kid? Like, listen, I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid. I was also outside. I was also like, my parents did stuff with us. We went on trips. We went on like little adventures. My grandparents would hang out with us. And like, my daughter thinks I say no all the time. Girl, pay attention to your children.
Content. I work on content 1 to 2 days a week. And Sarah has taught me that to pick a day and that my husband can take on the kids so I can have a little time to do videos and reels and take pictures and whatnot. So pick a day and then you can switch out your outfit all on the same day. That has been huge for me to get some content. And then stay up later after the kids are asleep or get up early depending on your hours. I go to bed way too late for getting up too early, but these are things that I'm forcing myself to do.
So you don't spend time with your kids. You don't spend time with your husband. You don't sleep, but you're forcing yourself to do this because it's short-term sacrifices for long-term goals or whatever, or long-term payoff. Is it actually long-term payoff? Because it doesn't seem like it. Because you just said that you're only at, A and B, and you've been doing this for a year and a half. It hasn't paid off yet, girlfriend. Like, have a cutoff for yourself. That's one thing I always say, like, not to always use myself as an example. I know I'm so annoying, but I can only speak to what I do with this and give it examples of myself. But when I, again, wanted to do this full time, me and Tony made the deal that, and yes, he needed to be a part of that. He's part of this team. He's part of Team Suarez. So I told him, all right, well, if I can't triple my monthly income by May, then I'll get a new job. And he said, yeah, sure. Sounds good. So clearly that worked out. Having that cutoff, having a deadline to this goal when you're, trying to make this happen so much, that's so important. Otherwise, you're just going to keep working so hard and making all these sacrifices and essentially ruining your life and then just never seeing the actual payoff because there isn't one and it's clearly not fucking working.
But using like that idea, because some days my brain's fried and sometimes it's just easy when somebody who's already doing it at the top You know that they're successful already. So whatever they're doing is working. This business is all about duplicating, but make it your own. Do not just copy, screenshot, and share somebody else's work. Please do not do that. Make it your own. It's kind of tacky if you are just screenshotting somebody else's work and sharing it on your page. No, make it your own. Download apps, Unfold. There's a bunch of apps. Wasn't prepared to share those, but there's a bunch of editing apps that you can share and make it your own. But I like to just screenshot, and then I get those ideas and make the story my own and share it from my perspective, my story, my life. And find the time. If this is important to you, you will find the time. No excuses, period. When people give me excuses.
How about y'all not do that? Because you're only supposed to share approved Monat marketing material, and what you're sharing is not approved Monat marketing material, and most likely it's false and just regurgitated bullshit.
Story, my life. And find the time. If this is important to you, you will find the time. No excuses, period. When people give me excuses, I don't have time, like, I'm the last person that you can say that to, honestly. And then last thing to...
No excuses. I'm the last person you can say you don't have time. Make time. No, because there's only a certain amount of time in the day. So either I'm spending less time with my spouse, and if I had kids, my kids, my dog, my me time, or sleeping less. None of that is worth a 1% chance of making money, which in Monat it would be roughly, let's say like a 6% chance. So how about no? Stop, just shut up. I'm so tired of this bullshit. No means no. Stop being rapey and take my no as what it is, a no.
Piggyback off Kim is sidelines. I mean, sidelines. Again, it's not something that I thought I needed. I didn't think I need more friends, but it's been a game changer to have sidelines. I've doubted myself on hard days. I've posted reels that I'm like, was that too depressing? Was that too boring? And it ends up working out. And, so sidelines are huge. I'm still here because of that. And so if you can reach out and create a group of sidelines, some people, you create a group, some people will stick with it, and some people will back out. So, so those are my 5 tangibles for being busy and fitting this business in. And I just want to end on a Kobe quote. Everything negative, pressure, challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. So every struggle that you are going through with this business, you got to keep going and know that use it as a stepping stool to keep to move on to the next step and keep pushing you. All right, guys.
That was so good. Shayna, seriously, you are living the life that Dave and I.
But that's Kobe Bryant. Like, he had, R.I.P. He had talent. It's like the best of the best. That's different. His success was based on his talent, not him recruiting other people to play basketball. How dare you quote him? Oof. I still can't get over that Sarah Hell was like, she has the most beautiful hair.
Lived 10 years ago.
It's awful.
Especially with you sharing it, like it was just giving me flashbacks to when we did the exact same thing when the kids were your kids' ages.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I think sometimes market partners forget is if you want to get from here to there, if you want things to look different eventually, the sacrifice and the grit and the grind sucks. But you just like live in the suck and embrace it until it sucks a little bit less, whether it's 6 months down the road or a year down the road. And you've done a really good job of just embracing where life is right now, accepting that it's not easy, but that the hard is kind of what's making it move forward. And I think sometimes we forget that because, sometimes this job is appealing in that it's flexible or you don't have to be tied to a desk, but people forget there's still like a lot of grind and sacrifice that goes into building it. And so I think you did a really good job of reminding people how that pays off. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, now next, Jessica, I'm going to put you on the spot because you don't have your full name here, so I'm not sure which one you are. So did you take off? Are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted.
Okay, CCC, I'm gonna replace Spotlight and you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, thanks. Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Adams, and tonight I just wanted to share a little bit of my journey so far and what has helped me along the way. We didn't know what everyone was going to be talking about on the call today, but you will find a lot of our message overlaps, and that just makes me so happy because it just shows that it really resonates with, a lot of other people too. Excuse me. So I'm a really new market partner. I joined on June 1st this year after completely falling in love with the products. And I think it was one day, maybe 2 days after I joined, Monat Corporate was throwing an event in my city, and Sarah had invited me to go. So I told Sarah I would go, and I promised myself I would go. If there's one thing about me, if I promise myself I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, because I've had experiences in the world. It's full of people who have the opportunity to let me down. I refuse to let myself down. So I went. But boy, did I spend those next 2 days really trying to talk myself out of it. I was telling myself, the market's already way too saturated. You're way too old to start a new business. You've missed the bus. You're going to be walking into a room full of hundreds.
I'm pretty sure you can hear me eating barbecue Pringles in this recording. Listen, Tony had already gone to bed and I was just like chilling here. Oh, I cannot wait until my beanbag comes in at the end of this month because I'm gonna be so cozy in here. And then I just like laid on my rug for a while and I was like, I'm just gonna chill. So good. It's my favorite. It's just sitting here. I'll probably never leave my office once I get that beanbag in here. Like for real, I won't.
Incredibly talented, successful women alone. You're going to feel totally out of place. Just all these negative things were just going through my head. But I will tell you, to this day, when I think about or talk about that event, I get goosebumps. I left that event feeling so incredibly empowered and inspired, and I made the commitment that night that I was going to launch my business that week online. So I did. I launched my business online that week. I also made the commitment to have one in-person event a month for the next 3 months, which I'm still currently doing. And I really wanted to grow my social media. I didn't know at the time how I was going to do that, but I was going to figure it out. And a little side note about me is I'm an Enneagram 3. So if any of you are familiar with that, or maybe you are too, you will understand when I say this. I don't do anything.
I got a fucking question. What the hell's an E3 or a 3? What? Oh, an Enneagram, right? I'm a 1. I don't know what that means.
From what I know and how I live my life was so incredibly uncomfortable for me. But that event changed everything for me. So I know events are scary, especially for me, not really knowing anyone and being really new. But anytime I have an opportunity to go to an in-person event, I go. And it gets easier and easier every single time. And I leave every one of those events feeling so fulfilled. And my fire is like relit again. So that's one thing that I just wanted to share tonight. So in case you're on the call and maybe you haven't jumped in with both feet and you're still kind of hesitant, I'm telling you, if I wouldn't have done that, I would probably still be sitting here tonight, not fully working my business. So you'll never regret just jumping in with both feet. I know that's one thing I took away from that, and I'm so glad I did. So I want to go back a minute and talk about growing social media. So it was a week or two after that event that we had a team training, and it was all about Reels. I did not want to hear about Reels. I did not. The thought of putting myself out on the internet for everyone to see, I was so worried about, oh my God, what are the other moms at my kid's school going to say? And I'm a joke, and I'm trying to be, trendy and educational, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And we all know that internet can be a very cool place. So putting yourself out there is really scary. But I did it, and I committed to doing it, making 1 or 2 reels a week. And I've been doing that consistently. But I was just having a conversation with my husband maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was just getting really deflated and unmotivated because I felt like I was putting in all this time and effort into making all these reels, right? I was researching on all the different effects and all these cool things to do, to get the traction that I wanted. But I wasn't. I was getting literally like maybe 100 views, and that's not even likes, just views. So like my stuff wasn't even showing up for people to see. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I stayed consistent and I stayed the course. And on Sunday, one of my reels hit 13,000 views in the first hour. I thought I won the lottery. I called my husband. I'm like, things are about to change around here. No, I'm kidding. But it just goes to show that, like, success is relative, right? Like 13,000 views to someone else may not be a lot, but for me, that was a game changer. And that was just the motivation that I need. It was like, you know what? It is proven. You stay the course, you show up consistently, and you show up with intention, it's going to pay off. I've heard the two main reasons why people don't have the success that they want in this business is either they give up too quickly, or they try to work the business alone. And I want to talk a little bit about community too. I know others have touched on that, but it really is such a vital piece to success in this business, I feel like. So the second thing that I want to cover is self-doubt. I really struggle with self-doubt, and I know that I've heard, a lot of you struggle with self-doubt from time to time too. Even so, when Sarah sent us the message to talk on this call, the first thing that popped into my head was, she sent this to the wrong Jessica. There's no way in hell she wants me to talk on a team call. I'm not successful enough. I'm too new. I have nothing of value to say. So I messaged her, and I was like, Sarah, did you really mean to send me that message? Because if you didn't, it's okay. And she was like, of course I did. And immediately I was like, you know what? She's right. Maybe someone can find something inspirational to take it away from my message. And I do belong here. Sometimes it just takes hearing it from someone else for you to remember. And that is where the community comes in. When I first signed on, I thought I was signing on because I love the products and I just wanted to share them with my friends and my family. And if I made some extra money, well, then great. I didn't know that I was yearning for that community. That was such a hole in my life. I didn't have that. And walking away from those events, I felt stuff that I hadn't felt as a grown woman in my life, like coming from other women. Just the empowerment and the positivity, and everybody wants everybody to succeed. And we all carry that over into our personal lives too. It's not just for our business. And I really feel like that has made me a better friend, a better mother, a better wife, because I'm getting
Oh yeah, you can 100% hear me munching on Pringles. I love it. I love it. Listen, the thing I use to record anything with sound too, it records the sound from from the speaker. It's just very confusing. I don't know how to fucking do it. And I'm not gonna stop munching on Pringles because that's my jam. Okay?
Fulfilled in a way that I didn't even know I was lacking. So that's huge for me. Another misconception that I want to talk about really quickly, and why I think it's so important to talk about community. As Emily said, share the community, share corporate things, because I wouldn't have known that it's like this on the inside. I assumed that everyone was going to be out for themselves, right? I mean, we all want success, whatever that looks like for us. We're all working towards our own success and so consumed with that. That's how I thought it was going to be. That is the furthest from the truth. This is such a team player environment. It still astonishing to me. Some days I just can't believe everyone is just helpful and warm and welcoming, and we all just keep each other going. And I think that also is just another vital aspect to working this business is whenever you're feeling self-doubt or unmotivated or having a hard day, like the other women on the call said tonight, reach out to your sideline, your upline. They will welcome you with warm, open arms. And that's how I get through my tough days and when I'm doubting myself. And then just one more thing, I know for me, it's like Shayna said too, it's hard not to compare your success, right? Especially me, I'm very new and I have all these goals and all these ranks that I want to hit. But for right now, some of those seem pretty unattainable for me, pretty far away, right? Because I know how hard I'm working right now to be where I'm at. And so it's hard to envision what that can take for me to get to that next level. But I have to remind myself that success is relative right, to each person. And we have to celebrate those small victories. So like me getting those extra views on that reel, or, you know, signing up 2 new VIPs that month, like celebrate those small victories because they add up month to month and they're really going to keep you going when things get tough. So I'm going to end on that. I'm just going to say that I'm so excited and grateful to be along this journey with all of you incredible people, because I truly believe that there is enough room at the table for all of us.
You are so. Oh, shoot, sorry. I'm gonna mute. Sorry. Okay, so when Jessica signed up as a market partner, it was literally like 3 days.
I just asked, is this all going to be motivational, or can we talk about compliance too? I'm having trouble with that.
And I was like, you should come, you should be my guest. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna come. And she came. 99 times out of 100, you guys, I tell someone to come to something and they say they will and they never show up. So when she showed up on her own without knowing anyone, the two of us had never met, I was like, she is someone different. Like, she's someone who actually wants to be there. She's someone that actually really wants to, you know, immerse herself in the community. And I was so impressed with her doing that. I don't care where your rank is in this company or what you make, you are the 1% simply by showing up like that. Because most people, 99% of people will not do that. So that was amazing. Jess, thank you so much. Guys, we are going to end this with my friend Julia. Julia, I'm going to find you and set you up as Spotlight, and you can go ahead and start.
Alrighty, can everyone hear me? I just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Thank you. My heart is like beating so fast now. Y'all have been so good. It's I feel like a big responsibility to close this out. We could stop right now and everyone would have been like so encouraged already. So I'm Julia. I'm an associate market builder. I have all my notes right here. So if I'm looking down the whole time, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. So I'm just going to read off of them. I have been with the company since 2018, the beginning of 2018. And tonight I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. I'm grateful for tonight because I think a lot of times like we hear, or maybe we just remember the stories of like people growing really fast, and that's what sticks with us. And so people like me who maybe haven't grown so fast, it's easy to kind of be discouraged. I know, Sarah, you hate that word. And so I hope this will be encouraging for maybe some people in a similar boat as I am in. So it took me a full year, a little bit about my backstory, to hit managing market partner. And then last year during COVID, I hit MMB. I hit it in September, and I haven't hit it again. For a few weeks.
Okay, so this girl's gonna tell us about how it took her a year to hit her first rank. And then during like the thick of COVID, she hit MMB. And then she said she hasn't hit it again, meaning she lost the rank.
For a few reasons. So I'll get into a little bit of my story. I think we all struggled in 2020. 2020 was a freaking hard year. And I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about quitting the business. I'm a photographer. I have like a full-time successful photography business. And so my ego was hurt, I think, when I hit that rank and I couldn't maintain it. And I kind of felt like a failure as a business owner. I wasn't where I thought I'd be. And after not being able to like hit it again and kind of maintain where I was, I felt like my business was dying instead of growing. Like I lost a few market partners, lost some customers, kind of disappointment after disappointment. And so I started doing less and less work because I was not as motivated. And little word from the wise, you have to learn to be disciplined, so that carries you when your motivation. But so I started doing less and less work. And it's funny how when you do less work, you actually think you're doing more than you are. And when you actually dig in and start doing the work, you see how much more you can be doing. So it's kind of funny how that works. So I was kind of in that like egotistical boat where I was doing less and less work, but like feeling like I'm doing everything. And maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's a company that's wrong. You know, I'm not failing. It's a company, like blah, 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 like all that garbage, you know. So I reached a point where I started doubting, like I said, not just my own abilities, but Monat. And that was my ego trying to basically preserve itself and shift the blame to something else, because if I could blame the company or something else, then it wasn't my fault if I quit. You know, I was just doing like what a smart person would do. And so
This is breaking my heart. This is so sad. And in the chat it says, so true. Yes, love that point. Wow, I felt. And then of course, Sarah Hill said, the ego can be so dangerous. Like this girl was so close to leaving. and then someone or something, or just somehow she got dragged back into it, into thinking like, no, it's me, it's me, it's me. It's so sad.
I was actually considering joining another company, and I think getting that like I looked at it really closely, like looking at all the things, and I think getting that close to quitting and going in a different direction was a slap in my face, because I realized like we work for the best company, you guys. Like, I'm serious. I looked at other companies closely. We work for the freaking best company in the world, truly the best. No other company comes close. And I learned that kind of the opposite of egotism and trying to preserve that ego is actually just taking responsibility, not just for your success, not just for the good stuff, but taking responsibility for your lack of work, taking responsibility for your shortcomings, for your failures, for your mistakes, for your business as a whole, just taking full responsibility for it. And so instead of quitting, I decided to relaunch, and this all happened back in, I think I relaunched in like March, and I sent Sarah an email like, I'm relaunching, these are my goals, you know, for my first month as a new market partner, all that stuff. And at that point, I had not had a new market partner, you guys, in like 4 months. And that new market partner was actually just a discounter who like completely ghosted me when I tried to talk to her about the business. And I had not had, like, I think maybe in 6 months I had like 2 new VIPs. So when I say it was a dry season, like it was a dry season. And so a relaunch just seemed like the perfect thing to do. So I took basically all the things I had learned in 3 years and coupled that with like the excitement, I think.
Okay, let's look at the chat again. Whenever I do these now, I want to have the chat up because people say the craziest shit. And someone said, ready to relaunch. Relaunch is good for everyone. So basically like you're starting over again. You're pretending basically like you are launching your business again. And she explains that she, you know, you post that picture with the box again, you do an unboxing, like it's so dumb. Someone said, all of my MPs are discounters, it's rough. Another person said, I haven't had a working MP yet, I get it. Who is this call for? So it's really sad. And it just shows like this girl started over after, what'd she say, 3 years, a year and a half of being in Monat. And all these people in the chat are like, yeah, you know, I don't have anyone on my team. Like, what percentage of these people are at the bottom? It looks like all of them. It's so sad.
New market partners have, because I almost found myself, maybe if you've been in this for a long time, you're almost jealous of new people sometimes. Because you're like, oh my gosh, you have all that new excitement and it's so fun and exciting for you and you're, you know, whatever. And so I just took everything that I learned and kind of coupled it with like that new energy and that new excitement. And I channeled that into my relaunch. So I did things like I rewatched Market Partner Academy. I did an unboxing video of like a product pack that I put together. I still happen to have my box from when I originally started the business. I filled it with all the products that would have come in it. I did an unboxing. I learned how to recommend products. I went through all the product training again. I shared samples like I was a maniac. And on social media, I just showed up with an energy that I had never done, never even in the beginning. And you guys.
Okay, so I had to fast forward just because that girl just keeps going about how she relaunched and then her energy and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh my God, please stop talking. So we're going to fast forward to the end here.
You're going to close this out.
Thank you so much, honestly. You guys, one of my biggest struggles this year is to be relatable to new market partners. I have been doing this for 4.5 years. The people who started with me can relate to me because we started together. The people who...
And you can actually see in the chat, and I'm sure you can probably hear me typing as well, but I knew it was going to end, so I wanted to figure out like what I could say real quick. And I was trying to say like, how do y'all not see this is a cult, or like this is a cult, or something like that. And I was like I don't know. I was like really struggling with like what to say.
Who have started later, they're maybe inspired by me or learn from me, but I feel like no matter what I do, we're missing a connection somewhere. And there is nothing better that you could do than connect with people who are building and rebuilding their business, or like Jessica, brand new market partner in the last couple months. So I hope that you took what they said and it motivated you, it inspired you, maybe it just breathed new life into you and your business, maybe it gave you direction for where you think you're going forward. I needed to hear from them. I needed it. I have so many notes. I am so inspired. They remind me of how much more work I have to do. You never make it in this business. You just keep impacting as many people as you can. Thank you guys so much for giving of your time. Time is everything, especially when you have young kids at home, which a lot of you do. So I really do appreciate it. One little, here, I'll take you off spotlight so you can take a break, darling. Replace. Here we go. Okay. One little closing comment. I also want to ask if this call was just motivational or if we would be talking about compliance. Motivation and inspiration is everything. It's better than anything we can do information-wise. During our director's call we did last month, we had a huge conversation about being inspiring over informative. There's so much information out there. People are on information overload because everything is already there for you. What we miss is the personal connection, the way we can inspire with our storytelling, learn from our mistakes, and build the community. So yes, that is exactly what this call was, and it couldn't have been more perfect. If you need some informative training, it is already there for you. So start digging into your back office, start talking to your upline, and dig through our groups, okay? I think that that's where you'll find the answers that you need. And then again, if you guys have questions, you can reach out to me anytime. But again, thank you so much for giving them your time, for them reaching out and hopefully motivating and inspiring you guys. And I will see you all soon, okay? Have a good night.
Bye. So as she like quickly ended the call, I tried to say like, this is a cult, but I couldn't. It just sucks because they don't let anyone ask questions during these calls. Like, how is this a meeting if it's just one person talking the whole time? Obviously, it wasn't one person, it was multiple people, but I'm sorry. Did you just say that motivation and inspiration and y'all telling your story is more important than information and compliance? Ma'am. No, it is not. Absolutely not. One of the people in there asked me, what's FLAG? The Florida Attorney General's office, baby. Like, how do you not know about that? And I understand, like, if they're not in Florida, okay. But if you're in Monat, you should know about the Florida Attorney General's office and the voluntary agreement that Monat had to sign with them in regards to false information and false advertising, which Monat reps are still doing, like, so bad. I see at least 100 things a day. It's so bad. Please do not fall for this BS. You are better than that. I get that some of this stuff might make you feel, you know, special or some type of way or get you hyped up or something like that. But in a real business where you're a salesperson and that's what they are salespeople. If you are attending a meeting, or let's say you have 4 meetings within a month and only one of them actually talks about product information and what you're actually selling, that's an issue. That is an issue. All this motivational bullshit is so culty, so crazy. There's a reason why she had like low-ranking people on that call. It's to get them motivated, to keep them in, and to just try to keep brainwashing them so they don't leave, so that she can keep her rank, so that she can keep going, so she can get in the $1 trillion club. It's so bad. Anyways, that was really sad. And I just pray that these girls get out. So bad. I hope that they get out. Alrighty, so stay spicy. I love ya. Be assertive. No is a full sentence. Learn to say it. Hard stop. Today's comment shout out goes to Jubster, who says, can you believe Chelsea invented the snake print? Oh my goodness. I love that. I was actually going to wear snake print in this video, but then I was like, I don't think so. So like I said, like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you so much. So I will see you in my next video, which will most likely be tomorrow or the next day. Unless today's Friday, because I usually don't post on Saturdays or Sundays. But either way, I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.